starts?
I think some neighbors heard some gunshots. They wanted me to come check it out. I was just taking out the trash. And I ain't heard nothing. We've been hanging out, you know. Ain't nothing going on around here. I just got the kids in the house and stuff like that. We're just hanging out, having a good old time.
Gotcha.
Yeah, man. That's it.
Sounds good to me.
All right, y'all take it easy. Have a good night, man.
You too, man.
You ain't gonna believe what happened over here, man. We're gonna run out there and really went in the house. Somebody had you and cops came out here. Told me I was just taking out the garbage. Where you been?
Shit, man, I've been taking care of these motherfuckers.
Oh, damn.
Was coming in, and now you're backing out. Now you're backing out. It's hard to talk big with a shotgun in your mouth. Shotgun in your mouth. I'm glad you brought your friends. They can watch it go down. Watch it go down. I got mine too. So welcome to my house. Welcome to my house. 'Cause these are my people, and this is my land. This is my land. And this is what we pray for, and this is God's plan. This is God's plan. And if you ain't from here, then you won't understand. You won't understand. This is my country, and this is who I am. This is who I am. So welcome to my house. So welcome to my house. Stand up for mine. You better believe it, 'cause today won't be your day. I can guarantee it, you should turn and walk away and get to leaving, or I'll let this 12 gauge do all my speaking. Don't push me on the edge, boy. Don't push me on the edge, boy. 'Cause I'm aiming for your head, boy. 'Cause I'm aiming for your head, boy. And all I see is red, boy. And all I see is red, boy. I told you not to cross that line. I told you not to cross that line. I'm giving you a chance, boy. I'm giving you a chance, you see boy. The devil in a glance, boy. The devil in a glance, boy. I can knock you out your pants, boy. Knock you out your pants, boy. I told you not to fuck with mine. I told you not to fuck with mine. Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. Y'all was coming in, and now you're backing out. Now you're backing out. It's hard to talk big with a shotgun in your mouth. Shotgun in your mouth. I'm glad you brought your friends. They can watch it go down. Watch it go down. I got mine too. So welcome to my house. 'Cause these are my people, and this is my land. This is my land. And this is what we pray for, and this is God's plan. This is God's plan. And if you ain't from here, then you won't understand. You won't understand. This is my country, and this is who I am. This is who I am. So welcome to my house.
got a baby girl inside this house, and right now she's sound asleep. So it's probably best for the both of us if you just turn around and leave. Cause if you come in this fucking house, then you too gonna go to sleep. I promise you, boy, don't play with me.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV coverage of the Kentucky Dirt iRacing League Spring Nationals presented by Newton Cattle Farms. I am Zach Newton. Good to be back in the saddle after an extended vacation of sorts from the microphone, and happy to bring you Spring Nationals coverage. We are live. It's the County Line Customs 50 from Cedar Lake Speedway in New Richmond, Wisconsin. Gorgeous day here at the virtual Cedar Lake Speedway, and you can see practice close to wrapping up here, just about 2 minutes from the end of practice. Alex Bergeron at the top of the timesheet with a 13:245. And then Zach McSwain, Randall Carter, Austin Carr, and Blake Majulis, your top five. I do not see a time from our points leader, Evan C. He may be a little bit of a late arrival here, but he should be running with us tonight. Ryan Underwood, who's third in points, is on vacation, and so he will not be with us this evening. But no, Evan C. is down there, a 13:346, only 27th of 42 cars for our points leader. So he'll be looking to rectify that, I would imagine. But again, Alex Bergeron with a scorching 13:245 at the top of the timesheet this evening. We also want to thank some of our other sponsors while we have a moment before the action gets underway. Let me pull those up real quick here. Of course, the folks over at Newton Cattle Farms, it's weird to thank myself because that's technically me. But the folks over at Newton Cattle Farms always, hey, look, it ain't tricking if you got it. Our producer, BJ Duvall, of course, we always appreciate all the work that he does and all the folks at Ultimate Dirt TV do. But yeah, a big thank you to Diggs Setup Shop as well. Also, Keltner Contracting. County Line Customs, of course, our title sponsor for tonight's event. And, you couldn't do it without the sponsors that help us put all of this together. And, of course, again, the fine folks at UDTV. So we're about to get qualifying underway here. Should be a interesting evening of racing. Again, Evan C., your points leader, a little bit farther down the timesheet list than I think he'd like to be. But I look for him to rectify that here pretty quickly. Other sponsors, of course, Drew Hopkins Racing, and then Dig Setup Shop, and ML Performance as well. One of the big sponsors here for the Newton Cattle Farms Spring Nationals for 2021. So should be rolling to qualifying here in just a couple minutes. Whole lot of, you see a whole lot of talent there on the timesheet. Of course, top of the timesheet with Alex Bergeron, Zach McSwain, Randall Carter, Blake Majulis, Ben Cowdermarsh, Chase Hardy, James Clausen, Jesse Enrican of Hunt the Front is in there, Dylan Wilson down the sheet a little bit, Cole Cabry, Huey Quillen, Davin Cardwell, Ryder Cantillo, a lot of familiar names here in the Spring National Series. Of course, everybody, Drew Hopkins, one of the nicest guys in the world, so I'm sure everybody's tickled to come out and run his series. Make a little bit of money, $100 to the winner. Top 8 get paid out of tonight. There's also a points fund that a lot of these guys are racing for. When we see Evan C., he's got the banana yellow spoiler to denote that he is the points leader. You'll see that in just a few minutes as he takes time. Yeah, I'm just vamping at this point because. Well, I know that Evan's the points leader because I put the spoiler on his car, but that's neither here nor there, BJ. You can run a yellow spoiler, but only Evan C. has the particular shade of yellow. How about that? It also, when you see his wrap, it also doesn't make any sense in the context of his car. So that's part of the reason we picked that particular shade of yellow when we were coming up with what our spoiler color was going to be for the points leader. And now we've rolled the qualifying, checkered flag out, a couple minutes late, but everybody getting in here now, and we get ready to go, and we'll go down trackside for qualifying here in just a moment. So folks starting to load in for qualifying. Again, 2 laps of qualifying. They have 3 minutes to complete them. It's a closed server qualifying, so everybody gets their own little pocket dimension with Cedar Lake Speedway. And here is our first qualifier. And this one should be a doozy. Looks like Philip Neese in that number 38 machine out of Hazard, Kentucky, sponsored by Invasion Gaming. You see him there. First one on track here. He's got a nice line through the middle of the corner here. Aaron Owen, our first driver to complete a time, and he goes with a 13.54 to the top of the timesheet, and he's sticking around up there for just a minute. Yeah, good lap for that guy. Tanner Tomasi with a 13.57. And then, again, Owen still at the top of the timesheet, but he may be starting to, he's surviving the storm so far. There's Alex Bergeron in a new black and yellow look for him. There we go. Now we're seeing some names jump to the top of the timesheet. Dylan Wilson with a 13.49 goes to the top of the sheet. And there we see Evan C. You can see that banana yellow spoiler. It really sticks out there, doesn't it? So C putting his... I asked that to my producer, BJ Duvall, who drives the hottest pink race car you'll ever see. So that makes sense that he would not be impressed with that. Dylan Wilson still quick time with a 13.49. Here's Blake Majulis in that black and chrome 127 machine, and we'll see what he can turn in here in this one. He goes to the top of the timesheet with a 13.46. There's Jesse Enderkin that hunt the front number 1. Of course, Dig sponsored. You can see all the sponsors there on the front of that one. And let's see where Enderkin can put it with his qualifying time. Blake Majulis currently quick time with a 13.467. Dylan Wilson second quick with a 13.486. Enderkin goes to third with a 13.493. You see Zach McSwain go to fourth with a 13.509. But Blake Majulis, not surprising to see him at the top of the timesheet. But again, not seeing Evan C. As close to the top as we're used to seeing him. He struggled during qualifying with a 17.16. So he's got some stuff he's got to figure out on that number 33 machine, the VLR entry. I think we've pretty well reached the end of qualifying. Blake Majulis, your quick time this evening with a 13.467. A 13.467. Quick time for Blake Majulis. Looks like Dylan Wilson will be second quick. Jesse Enderkin third. Zach McSwain and Aaron Owen, a Kentucky native, with the fifth quick time, a 13.54, his best time. So we get ready to go heat racing in this one. And this one should be a lot of fun. Blake Majulis on the pole of heat race number 1. Aaron Owen will line up outside of will line up in second. And then BJ, that doesn't see. Is that right? Okay, so I had some confusion there. Blake Majulis is going to line up in. So I guess there's going to be 4 heats is the answer to that question. Blake Majulis will line up on the pole. Aaron Owen out of Indiana in second. Tanner Tomasi lines up third. Trevor Fitz will line up on the outside of row number 2. Starting in 5th spot, it's the Team ABR Esports entry of number 12, Alex Bergeron. Outside of him is James Gilpin. Brandon Marlowe for Team DTJ going to line up on the inside of row number 4. Outside of him, the 32 of PJ Popham. And then everybody's favorite guy, Bo Krebs, and then Cade Loudy, the 5th row in this heat race. So this one should be interesting. That front row, we saw Aaron Owen kind of come out of nowhere and lay down a pretty quick time. Blake Majulis, obviously, always fast there. And then Tanner Tomasi behind him and Trevor Fitz as well. Should be a good race and then Alex Bergeron is back there as well. So we've got a pretty talented field here in this first heat race. So this one should be action-packed. Track's still very racy. And I look for Alex Bergeron to kind of come to the front in this one, but he's going to have his hands full with the likes of Fitz, Tomasi, and Majulis in front of him. So looking for the green flag should be dropping next time by. Again, Majulis and Aaron Owen, your front row. Aaron Owen, kind of a newcomer or an unfamiliar face for me and my producer, BJ Duvall. But let's see what he's got as he's going to line up outside of row number 1 with some of the biggest names in all of iRacing Dirt as we get ready to go green this time by. Majulis is on the loud pedal off of turn 4, and we are green. And a good start for Tomasi, but Bergeron has already charged his way into second. He slides up the racetrack, takes the racing line away from Tomasi. Fitz goes to the inside of Tomasi. They make contact. Tomasi pushes up the racetrack. He's going to lose a bunch of spots. And Aaron Owen is struggling on the start, and now Tomasi has been launched into the pit area, and you got to think he's just about done in this heat race as Blake Majulis continues to lead. It's Majulis, Bergeron, Fitz, and Marlowe as Marlowe looks to the inside of Fitz down the front straightaway. We'll see if he's got anything as they dive into turn 1 and 2. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to clear Fitz. They make a little bit of contact as Majulis starts to check out and run away from Bergeron as we close in on halfway. It'll be cross flags next time by. Majulis leads Bergeron with Marlowe and Fitz side by side down the back straightaway. A little bit more contact as they head into turn 3. Fitz pushes up the racetrack. He gets a good run off of turn 4 and will hold on to the bronze medal spot in heat race number 1. But Marlowe refuses to stay down, and now he's got about half a car in front of Fitz, and he's going to try to slide up the racetrack off of turn 4 and see if he can take third away in earnest, and he does. It's all Blake Majulis out in front with Alex Bergeron a couple car lengths back, and now Marlowe has taken over third from Trevor Fitz. The back of the field is James Gilpin, Cade Lowdy, Aaron Owens, Bo Krebs, and PJ Popham with Tanner Tomasi out of this one, but it's all Majulis so far. He's going to come to the white flag this time by in that black and chrome 127 machine. He slides up the racetrack off of turn 4, and he comes to the white flag, so he's got one more circuit, and unless the track opens up and swallows him whole, this one should be his in that all-black number 127 machine. Of course, for D1RT Racing, he's going to come off of turn number 4, and there it is. Blake Majulis will win in convincing fashion. Heat race number 1, Alex Bergeron comes from 5th to 2nd, and Brandon Marlowe knocks off Trevor Fitz and brings it home in 3rd place as Bo Krebs goes flipping into the pit area. So we got your official results. It is Blake Majulis, Bergeron, Marlowe, and Fitz, your top 4. Then Gilpin, Lowdy, Owen, Krebs, Popham, and Tomasi. Tomasi, the only car that did not finish that heat race after some contact with Aaron Owen. Heat number 2 looks like this. On the front row, on the pole, D1RT's Dylan Wilson, the 80 machine. Outside of him, it's Florida's Austin Carr, and then Randall Carter will line up in 3rd starting spot for Team VLR. Outside of him, it's Newton Cattle Farm's house car driver Ben Countermarsh in the 12. Then Chase Hardy will line up in the 18. And then Hunter Heck in the 85 will line up in 6th. Inside of row number 4 is Huey Quillen. And to his outside, it's the 23T of Ethan Toder. Joe Wiggins and Mark Murray will round out row number 5. 10 cars will start in this second of 4 heat races. Again, 8 laps the distance. And you got to keep an eye on Dylan Wilson, but I don't expect Austin Carr or Countermarsh will go quietly. Let's see if they've got anything for the D1RT driver sitting on the pole. Don't count out Randall Carter either. And then Chase Hardy and Ethan Toder back there could cause a little bit of havoc a little deeper in the field. So one more half-pace lap here, and then we will get this one underway. On board now with Randall Carter in that number 37 machine. Starting on the inside of row number 2, and you'll see the pace truck take off towards the pit exit. Dylan Wilson on the loud pedal off of turn 4, and we are underway. Wilson going to slide up the racetrack and secure the bag as he heads off into turn number 1. Chase Hardy dives to the inside of Countermarsh as they go down the back straightaway. It's Wilson, Carr, Carter, and Countermarsh, and I believe that's how they'll finish lap 1. Carr starts to look to the inside of Wilson. They make a little bit of contact down the front straightaway, but no harm, no foul, as Wilson is able to keep it together. And the 32 machine of Carr is going to slide into second and run a little higher line, and that may open the door for Randall Carter back there in third. Wilson still out in front with about a 4-foot lead at the line over Carr, and Carr starts looking for answers to see if he can crack the code of the California native who's currently pacing the field in that ADT machine. I think I just got the pun in Wilson's number, but I could be wrong. As he continues to lead out in front, Austin Carr runs second, and Carter and Countermarsh are top four. Chase Hardy back there in fifth, not out of the hunt just yet, and still working. Hunter Heck, Huey Quillen, Ethan Toter, Joe Wiggins, and Mark Murray also still running in this one, as BJ has also figured out the pun, and now he's having a hearty chuckle in the headset about it. Wilson leads 6 of 8 in the books, or their working lap 6 of 8, 5 of 8 in the books. So the cross flags wave as now Hunter Heck looks to the inside of Chase Hardy in that number 1 machine. Hardy in that chrome and pink number 18, as he's going to get a little tight there, and Huey Quillen and Heck are going to make some contact. Now they're 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. Ethan Toter stuck back there behind that as Chase Hardy gets a whale of a run off of turn 2. He gets in deep. Quillen and Heck make contact. And now Chase Hardy is going to pull clear as the white flag is going to wave one more circuit. And it's all Dylan Wilson as he starts to drive into the sunset in the ADD machine. And he should win heat number 2. It'll be all D1RT on the front row with Blake Majulis and Dylan Wilson in your first and second starting spots. Austin Carr, Randall Carter, and Ben Countermarsh round out your top 4. And then Chase Hardy in that 116 machine comes home 5th. Back half of the field officially should be what we saw on screen there. Yeah, will be Wilson, Carr, Carter, Countermarsh, and Hardy, your top 5. Then Heck, Quillen, Toter, Murray, and Wiggins round out the rest of the 10-car field as we get ready to line up heat race number 3. And on the pole, it is Jesse Ennerkin in the hunt to front number 1. Outside of him, it's Damian Kiefer. Philip Neese in the 38, going to line up in a 3rd starting spot. Outside of him, it's Joey Neese in the 5. And then Bobby Mattingly will line up starting on the inside of row number 3. Outside of him, it's Florida's Mario Perez. The 29 machine of James Clausen will start 7th. Outside of him, the 97 of Ryder Cantillo. And then Dominique Foster and Davin Cardwell will round out your 10-car field in heat race number 3. We also want to thank SRT Rocket Racing Setups and all the fine folks that sponsor UDTV broadcast. Couldn't bring you this show without the folks at UDTV. Of course, the Kentucky Dirt iRacing League Spring Nationals presented by Newton Cattle Farms, as well as ML Performance, Diggs, Setups, Counter Contracting, and of course, County Line Customs, the sponsor of tonight's County Line Customs 50 from Cedar Lake Speedway. Zach Newton with you in the booth, out of retirement, to the shock of many. I'm sure most people probably don't care, to be fair, but I'm back and hopefully better than ever. That's a fair question, BJ. I've been trying to figure that out for a lot of my life. He asked who I was. Still not sure myself at 31. Jesse Ennerkin on the pole is heat race. Before I get too introspective, Damian Kiefer in the 0 to his outside. And then the brothers Neese in 3rd and 4th, and Kentucky and Bobby Mattingly in the 3, going to line up in 5th. But keep an eye on Cantillo, Clausen, and Cardwell back there as they get ready to try to bring those machines to the front of this one. Long way to go for Davin Cardwell. Shotgun on the field as Ennerkin gives her the beans off of turn 4, and we're underway. Ennerkin pulls about 2 car lengths down the front straightaway, and Damian Kiefer is going to fall in right behind him. Neese Phillips specifically going to fall in right behind him. And now Mario Perez has moved into that 4th spot, and he keeps looking at that white 71 machine, trying to pick off another Neese brother down the front straightaway, but he's not going to get there as they complete lap 1. Jesse Ennerkin leads. Ennerkin running the low line around Cedar Lake Speedway, slides up the racetrack off of turn 4. That opens the door for Kiefer, but he's not there yet, so he can't walk through it. Ennerkin through the middle and high off of his, Mario Perez gets into the wall. That opens the door for Ryder Cantillo around the bottom of the racetrack. Cantillo looking very comfortable down there in the mud, and he's got that thing hooked up as he drives off the racetrack. He can't quite clear the 71 of Perez for that 4th spot, but they're going to battle a little more down the back straightaway. Looks like Cantillo's going to stick to the bottom. Davin Cardwell starting to poke his nose into some other people's business as he's made it from 10th up to 6th. But Ennerkin continues to lead and starts to try to drive out of the life of Damian Kiefer. He's got about looks like a 6-car length lead down the back straightaway as they head into turn 3. Cross flags in the air as they complete lap number 5, and we work on into the back end of this heat race. It's still Enterkin, Kiefer, Nice, and Perez, your top 4. Cardwell is around Cantillo now for 5th, and then he gets a little too deep and gets into Perez as they come through 3 and 4. It doesn't slow him down too much, but he doesn't have the spot yet as he's going to rip the lip through 1 and 2 and try to make that a 3-way dance down the back straightaway, but he can't quite do it. Cantillo back to the inside of Perez as they continue to battle for that 4th spot. It's Enterkin at the white flag with Kiefer, Nice, and Perez currently in tow. Enterkin goes to the lip around 1 and 2. We'll see if he sticks to the high side through 3 and 4. He does not. Goes back to the bottom to prevent the slider. Kiefer going to go to the high side, but I don't think he's going to get the run to get there at the line. It's still Enterkin, but Kiefer made a late race charge and nearly closed the gap up there. But Enterkin going to hold on, and he will win heat race number 3 of the County Line Customs 50. So there you see it, Enterkin, your winner by just 1/10 of a second over Damian Kiefer. Philip Nice and Ryder Cantillo round out your top 4. Cantillo made the play at the line. You can see how close the margins are there. Mario Perez comes home 5th, Cardwell 6th, Joey Nice in 7th, Bobby Mattingly, Dominic Foster, and James Claassen round out the rest of the field. So moving right along into heat race number 4, Zach McSwain lines up on the pole. Outside of him, it's Ryan Burkhart. Then D1RT's Cole Cabry in the 71 starts on the inside of row number 2. It's an all D1RT row number 2 as John Ruggiero Jr. will line up to the outside in position 4. D-Squared Racing's Alan Duranco will line up in 5th. Outside of him, it's Texas driver Justin Holt. Then Tyler Worley in the 66 and Jacob Lassiter for Dirt Track Junkies in the 51. Colton Malone in the 99 going to line up on the inside of row number 5. And outside of him, Team VLR's Evan C., your Spring Nationals points leader, going to line up shotgun in the 4th heat race. So there you see that banana yellow spoiler on that number 33 machine. That denotes that he is the points leader, and we'll keep an eye on his progress as he's got a long way to go. And just 8 laps to get there, he's going to have to run through a B main. So it's McSwain's 25 and Burkhart's number 7 lining up on the front row. Then all D1RT in row 2 with Cole Cabry and John Ruggiero Jr. And that's how your top 4 will start as we get ready to get this one underway. 8 laps the distance. McSwain on the beans off of turn 4. And he will slide up and pull clear for the lead as they head into turn 1. He runs about 2/3 of the way up the racetrack, still finding some moisture there. In the middle is McSwain. Burkhart lines up in 2nd, and then the 2 D1RT drivers still side by side after they come off of turn number 2, but off of turn number 4, Ruggiero Jr. gets a run, and now he's going to try to go to 2nd, and we've got our first caution of the night here in heat race number 4. And also, I'll throw it to the truck as we go to the UDTV instant replay to try to figure out what the cause is. It looks like Evan C. back there, and C. going to get crossed up with somebody in the Scott Bloomquist machine, Colton Malone, and C. goes around and backs it into the wall, and that could spell trouble for our points leader, who's not having himself a great night so far. So Zach McSwain leads under caution. Ryan Burkhart, Cole Cabry, your top 3, and then Ruggiero Jr. back there in 4th. And this one, the first heat race we've had paused by a caution. We've been Banana Republic flag free for 27 laps of green flag action, but it was not meant to stay that way. As Evan C., who is in the pits, his heat race is done. So he will have to work from the back of one of our consolation events coming up here in just a couple moments. So we're going to go double file for the restart. Top 4 transfer out of each heat, and then 4 from each B main to set the feature field. So Evan C. going to have a lot of work to do coming up in just a few minutes. As we are back underway, McSwain on the beans off of turn 4 gets another good start. Cole Cabry gets a good start with him. Ryan Burkhart, though, is kind of the GOAT on that one, and I don't mean the greatest of all time, as he has gone straight backwards on that restart. Ruggiero Jr. struggles a little bit on the high side. He's going to lose some ground And it's all Zach McSwain out front as we'll come to the cross flags. Ruggiero Jr. going to go to the inside of Worley down the back straightaway for that final transfer spot. They're side by side. Worley gets into the wall. He's going to go around. Yeah, he's got some help back there. Colton Malone gets collected as well. And our second yellow of the night is going to wave in this one. So we go to the UDTV instant replay, but you saw it live on our cameras. Some contact with Ruggiero Jr. and Worley. Worley gets into the wall in that 66 machine and then pretty much breaks loose from there as he collects Colton Malone and a couple of other drivers, and that will bring out our second caution flag. Again, Ultimate Dirt TV, bringing you all the action. BJ Duvall in the truck, bringing you all those highfalutin instant replays, restaurant quality instant replays right here on UDTV. That's good. That's a good quality. That's good. I would never say anything bad to your face, BJ. You know that. Nothing. Not yeah. Oh yeah. I'd say all kinds of stuff when you're not around. So Zach McSwain continues to lead under caution. Cole Cabry second. Duranco and Ruggiero Jr. your top four. They'll transfer directly to the County Line Customs 50 coming up here in just a little bit after we run two B mains tonight. So we'll bunch the field back up. And again, good run going for Alan Duranco. Let's see if he can hold on to it and finish in one of these four transfer spots. Cole Cabry has made his way up to second. Zach McSwain, again, continuing to lead. And it looks like I think we're going to go single file here, as I don't know that we completed a lap. So single file restart coming. Zach McSwain will bring us to the green. He's going to give her the beans here off of 4. Cabry tries to jump it. Can't quite do it. So he's going to lose that battle as he's going to stay with McSwain, though. Did a good job of at least staying with him as Ruggiero Jr. has cleared Burkhart, as it looks like Duranco must have had something break on the restart as he is off the track. But McSwain with 2 to go, popsicle sticks in the air, is going to run through the middle of turns 1 and 2. He's going to take Cabry with him. Cabry just content to fall in and make the dance as McSwain will lead off of 3 and 4. White flag in the air, 1 to run here at Cedar Lake in heat number 4 of the County Line Customs 50. And this one's been all Zach McSwain, even with the 2 intermissions provided by cautions, as he's going to comfortably win this one. Cabry going to push to the high side. Ruggiero Jr. slides in but can't get close. And so Zach McSwain, Cole Cabry, and John Ruggiero Jr., along with Ryan Burkhart, will transfer out of heat race number 4. And I believe that will do it for heat races this evening. So again, it's McSwain, Cabry, Ruggiero Jr., Burkhart, your transfer drivers. And then Jacob Lassiter, Justin Holt, Colton Malone, Alan Duranco, Tyler Worley, and Evan C., your points leader, will have to work their way in through a couple of consolation events. I believe the first one of those is taking shape on the front straightaway right now. Yes, it is. James Gilpin on the pole. This one with Mario Perez flanking him. And then the wild child, Cade Loudy, in the 126 is going to line up on the inside row number 2 with Davin Cardwell to his outside. Indiana's Aaron Owen and Kentucky's Joey Neese line up in row number 3. Then Bo Krebs and Bobby Mattingly will go 7th and 8th. PJ Popham and Sub-Zero Sim Racing's Dominique Foster will line up 9th and 10th. And then Tanner Tomasi and James Clausen in the 9 and the 29 will start 11th and 12th. So 4 drivers will transfer out of this B main. It says C main on our timing and scoring, but it is a B main. Works just like a regular consolation event. No alphabet soup here tonight. So top 4 will transfer into the show. And for Tanner Tomasi, who had a good run last week, is in the top 10 in the points. He's got a long way to go and just a few short laps to get there, especially if this one stays green, which our heat races, by and large, have done. So James Gilpin will have the start in the 11 machine. He's on the pole. Outside of him, Mario Perez in that white 71 machine as we get ready to go green. This time by, Pace Truck makes the run. Gilpin's on the gas off of turn 4. He gets a good start. Cade Loudy gets a great start from 3rd. He's going to look to the inside of Perez. Oh, no, we've got Bedlam in turn number 1 as it looked like a mistake from Gilpin. And Cardwell is now spun around facing the wrong way. He's got a lot of damage there, and we've got a caution flag. Yeah, you can see Cardwell's car from outer space with that bright yellow body on it, and he gets Joey Neese, as our buddy Jerry Van Sickle would say, Neese gets a good look up under Cardwell's skirt, and then that will bring out a caution flag as Cardwell loops it over there, and first caution waves for Davin Cardwell. Now he's got to go to the tail. He's going to have a long way to go. So 10 laps the distance. Gilpin is really the benefactor there as he goes, had made a mistake over in turns 1 and 2. He may get back to the front of the line there as the last lap we completed, he was in first place. So I actually don't think we completed a lap at all. So he's going to get bailed out there after he nearly loops it in turn 1 and 2, kind of your lucky dog situation there. We'll have to see if he can maybe figure out how to navigate the opening turn of this one. And actually, no, I think they're going to send him to the tail. So race control meting out a little bit of justice there. And so now Cade Loudy is going to be on the pole, which is admittedly slightly concerning. We'll see what the Indiana drivers got in the 126 machine, the wild child Cade Loudy, who will inherit the lead. Mario Perez going to line up on the outside. And then Joey Neese and Aaron Owen, Bobby Mattingly in fourth, Bo Krebs, Dominique Foster, PJ Popham, Tanner Tomasi, Clausen, Cardwell, and Gilpin has pulled off. His night is done for the County Line Customs 50. We'll see what Loudy's got, if he can hold off this this field of barking dogs behind him as we get ready to get underway. And Loudy, with a late start there, kind of games Mario Perez a little bit. And now we're underway in earnest, but Bo Krebs is around, and we've got another yellow. I think caution laps are counting in the B mains. So if you want to talk about who this really hurts, it's some of your higher profile drivers like Tanner Tomasi and Davin Cardwell, who are back in the back of the field. As you see, Krebs takes a ton of damage. He's on his hat, and that will do it for him. But if you're guys like Cardwell and Tomasi back there, you're not going to have a chance to try to poke your nose into the top 4 because you can't run any green flag laps to get there. So I will tell you, if I'm just being honest, and I think that's what I'm known for around these parts, if I'm just being honest, a lot of that has to wind up on Cade Loudy for when he chose to start and bunching the field up in 3 and 4. The field couldn't really sort itself out by the time they got to 1, but hopefully a single file restart, which it looks like race control has called for here, will address some of that. But at this point, if Loudy doesn't go, Perez is going to get a good look at a T-bone steak. And that's all I'm going to say about it. If you've seen Tommy Boy, fill the joke in yourself. This is a family broadcast, so you'd probably rather take a butcher's word for it. So Loudy is going to give her the beans. Perez right up underneath him. Good job by Perez to not try to game the restart, but to stay right with Loudy as he starts a little bit late in turn 4 again. And now they will run down the back straightaway, single file, your top 4. Nearly some contact there between Perez and Loudy, but Loudy and Perez keep it clean for positions 1 and 2. Loudy leads with Perez, Neese, and Owen. Your top 5, but Tanner Tomasi has gotten himself up there. He has come to the party, and let's see if he can get into one of those top 4 spots. He goes to the bottom, hangs that left front over those buried tires to the inside the track, slides up on Owen just a little bit. They make a little bit of contact. That's going to open the door for a bunch of guys to work underneath Bobby Mattingly and Aaron Owen. There's James Clausen in that 29 machine. It's a pretty good-looking wrap, if I say so myself, and I do because I made it. Cade Loudy continues to lead. Mario Perez, Joey Neese, and Tanner Tomasi now up into 4th, but Clausen is coming, and now we get to lap 7. So maybe those caution laps weren't counting because we were on lap 6 for a hot minute. So Clausen has to hold off Cardwell and try to track down Tomasi, and he might need a caution flag to do it because Tomasi is starting to poke his nose to the inside of 3rd place, Joey Neese. Tomasi's got that thing glued to the bottom of the racetrack, and he is chewing like he's eating day-old bread. Out in front, still Cade Loudy, Mario Perez, Joey Neese, and then Tanner Tomasi. And again, Tomasi, really the only guy dwelling in the basement. But he's got something down there. Looks like he's going to keep trying to the inside of Neese. Neese is getting good runs still, has some moisture there that he's found off of turn 2. They're going to go side by side as now Perez is going to challenge for the lead as they come to the white flag. Perez to the inside, Loudy to the outside. Loudy going to try to take his line away just a little bit, slides up the racetrack in 2. That opens the door for Perez down the back straightaway. He's numbers deep. Can he get there off of turns 3 and 4? Tomasi, I think, is going to be able to slide up and take third. He is, but Perez cannot clear Loudy. Cade Loudy going to win the first of 2 B mains in this one. Perez, Tomasi, and Joey Neese, your top 4. And that will do it for Davin Cardwell, Aaron Owen, Bo Krebs, PJ Popham, James Gilpin, Bobby Mattingly, Dominic Foster, all those guys going home. They will transfer to the trailer. Cade Loudy, Perez, Tomasi, and Neese into the County Line Customs 50. Coming up in just a few minutes after this final B main, and on the pole, it is the Winchester Wildman, Chase Hardy, in the 116 machine. I believe it's the number 18 tonight, as he's in a throwback car there. And then Jacob Lassiter to the outside of row number 1. Hunter Heck and Justin Holt will line up on row number 2. Then Huey Quillen and Colton Malone will make up row number 3. Ethan Toder in the 23T out of Independence, Kentucky, lines up in 7th. Alan Duranco in the 109 for D-Squared Racing starts 8th. Mark Murray in the 17 and Tyler Worley in the 66 make up row number 5. And then Joe Wiggins out of Indiana and Team VLR's Evan C. will line up in row number 6. And Evan C. is got to get into the top 4 to make it into the show, unless we're doing provisionals, which I don't believe we are. So Chase Hardy on the pole in that chrome and pink number 18. BJ, that's a car after your own heart if I've ever seen one. So Chase Hardy is going to bring us to green after we run 1/2 of a pace lap. Well, you know, you can't please everybody. So Chase Hardy on the pole in the Winchester Wildman number 18 machine, and he's on the beans off of turn 4, and he gets a great run and opens up a 4-car length lead down the front straightaway, and he's got something around the high side of the racetrack. Huey Quillen going to make it 3 wide for the runner-up spot with Hunter Heck and Jacob Lassiter, but Quillen falls back to the inside in turns 3 and 4. Colton Malone is in the wall. No surprise there. Chase Hardy continues to lead. Hardy trying to run away and hide with this B main. Ethan Toder's got a good run going in that black number 23 team machine. He goes to the bottom and follows Dominique Foster and Huey Quillen, but we've got a caution flag out, and it looks like Alan Duranco is off track. We'll try to go to UDTV Instant Replay and see if we can suss out exactly what happened. And there you see Tyler Worley and Evan C. around the bottom of the racetrack trying to stay out of trouble. And let's see if he can avoid it as Worley and Malone get together. And I believe that will probably do it for the evenings of those 2 gentlemen. So Chase Hardy got a great start and opened up a big lead, and nobody had really closed in on him. In that exceptional wildlife removal, Wise Power Equipment, Voodoo BX race car, number 18 there. And let's see what he's got for the rest of this one. Hunter Heck up to 2nd. Huey Quillen and Jacob Lassiter are currently holding down the final 2 transfer spots. But Justin Holt, Ethan Toder, and, of course, Evan C., our points leader back there. And keep an eye on that 33 machine as he's going to try to make the charge up into one of those transfer spots. As we get ready to go back to green flag racing here, I believe just 1/2 of a lap, and we will be back underway. So Hardy pushes up the racetrack, drives down the hill off of turn 4 as the green flag waves. Quillen going to try to look to the inside of Hunter Heck. Hardy did not get nearly the start that time that he did on the opener, but he gets a good run off of turn 2 and opens up a car length lead down the back straightaway. Goes through the middle of turns 3 and 4. Quillen to the basement. Inside of Hunter Heck, that's the battle for 2nd. Quillen going to lose a little bit of ground, and Hardy's going to make a little bit up. He starts to pull away from 2nd and 3rd as they continue to battle side by side. Then Quillen or Justin Holt holding on to that final transfer spot, but Hardy makes a mistake, and that opens the door for Hunter Heck. Let's see if Hardy can collect himself through turns 1 and 2. He's been very good on that end of the racetrack. He's going to try to drive off the track, and he will get about 3/4 the way clear of Heck, but Heck stays close to numbers deep as they run down the back straightaway. And now Hardy finally pulls clear down the front straightaway. He's got the lead back. Heck still leaving the door open for Quillen around the bottom of the racetrack, but there's not quite enough down there for Quillen to make it work. But that's what he's committed to. That's what he set the car up for. Evan C. has gotten up to 5th. He's looking to the inside of Lassiter back there for your final transfer spot. As C's got it glued to the bottom as well. Good run off of turn 2 for Hunter Heck, and he pulls almost even with Chase Hardy, but I don't know if he can make it stick just yet. Hardy's getting a good run off of turn 4 every time, as he's got something figured out around the upper middle portion of this racetrack. Seems there's still some moisture there, and Hardy taking advantage as he opens up a good lead, but he pushes up the racetrack in turn 3, and let's see if he gets that run off. He does, as there's a little contact between Heck and Quillen. Quillen closing in as Evan C. has secured the bag. He's got the final transfer spot, so unless something happens to that 33 machine, he will hold on as they run single file off of turn 4 to the white flag. Chase Hardy, Hunter Heck, and Huey Quillen, your leaders. Evan C. in 4th, Ethan Toter, the outside looking in right now in that 23 team machine. Hardy going to try to take away the slider line from Heck. He does a good job off of turn 4. He will win your second B main over Hunter Heck, Huey Quillen, and Evan C. So good run for Hardy to hold on to the lead. He started on the pole and led every lap here at Cedar Lake in our final B main. So this Chase Hardy, Hunter Heck, Huey Quillen, and Evan C. will make it to the show. Toter, Lassiter, Holt, Malone, Murray, Wiggins, Worley, and Duranco going to pack it to the trailer. And now we're going to do a little bit of track prep here. And we are going to take a commercial break, pay some bills here at the Ultimate Dirt TV network. Back in just a few minutes with the County Line Customs 50. It's part of the Kentucky Dirt iRacing League Spring Nationals presented by Newton Cattle Farms on Ultimate Dirt TV.
Shit, man, I've been taking care of these motherfuckers.
Y'all was coming in, and now you're backing out. It's hard to talk big with a shotgun in your mouth. I'm glad you brought your friends. They can watch you go down. I got mine too. So welcome to my house. These are my people, and this is my land. This is what we pray for, and this is God's plan. If you ain't from here, then you won't understand. This is my country, and this is who I am. So welcome to my house. So welcome to my house. I'ma stand up for mine. You better believe it, cause today won't be your day. I can guarantee it, you should turn and walk away. And get to leaving, or I'll let this 12 gauge do all my speaking. Don't push me on the edge, boy. Cause I'm aiming for your head, boy. And all I see.
And we're back here at Cedar Lake Speedway. As you can see, the sun has set as we get ready to go 50 laps around this famous 3/8 mile dirt oval. Zach Newton here with you on UltimateDirtTV to bring you all 50 laps of the action as the field begins to take shape on the starting lineup, and we will go through it top to bottom. On the pole, it's Blake Majulis for D1RT and the 127 machine. Outside of him, the ADD of D1RT Racing teammate to Majulis, Dylan Wilson out of California. Then Florida's Jesse Enterkin in the hunt. The front entry, number 1, starts on the inside of row number 2, and outside of him, the 25 of Zach McSwain. Our neighbor from up north, Alex Bergeron for Team ABR Esports, lines up in 5th in the 12, and outside of him, the 32 of Florida's Austin Carr. Damian Kiefer in the 30, and Cole Cabry for D1RT in the 71, line up in 7th and 8th. Row number 5 on the inside, it's Team DTJ's number 37 of Brandon Marlowe. Outside of him, another 37, this one belonging to VLR's Randall Carter. Philip Neath in the Invasion Gaming number 38 machine lines up in 11th. Outside of him, D1RT driver in the 44 entry, that's John Ruggiero Jr. 13th will be D1RT driver Trevor Fitz out of California in the 28 machine. Outside of him, it's the Newton Cattle Farms house car, Ben Countermarsh out of Northern Kentucky, going to line up in 14th starting spot. Ryder Cantillo in the 97 and Ryan Burkhardt in the 7 will make up row number 8. Cade Loudy in the 126 and Chase Hardy in the 18 will line up 17th and 18th. Mario Perez in the 71 out of Florida and Hunter Heck in the 1 line up in 19th and 20th. Tanner Tomasi and Huey Quillen will make up row number 11 in the 09 and the 4. Shotgun on the field, Kentucky's Joey Neese in the 5 and Team VLR's Evan C., the points leader, going to try to go from worst to first in 50 laps here at Cedar Lake as we are on the beans off of turn 4, and this one is underway in the Kentucky Dirt iRacing League Spring Nationals, and it's Majulis out front, but Wilson's going to go to the inside. Enderkin's going to try to follow the ADD machine as Wilson gets a real drive off the corner. He goes to the lead down the back straightaway. He's going to lead lap 1 after getting to the inside of Majulis as Enderkin's now going to poke his nose down there. Look at Zach McSwain working to the middle of the racetrack. Alex Bergeron follows suit, and now they kind of single file out just a little bit until Enderkin dives to the inside of Majulis, and our first caution flag is out just 2 laps in. So yeah, there is the mess on back in the field, as my neighbor has just shot off fireworks 3 minutes before 10 o'clock, and if he shoots off another one, I will be calling local law enforcement. Or scares my dog, and it makes my wife cranky, and that strikes 1, 2, and 3 respectively. Strikes 1 and 2 are the dog. I want to make that clear. Yeah, I love the dog. Love my wife too, but hold on. She would tell you, listen, no, it's not like that. But she would tell you the same thing, that the dog's needs come before mine. That's not even, it's not a doubt in my mind. So it is, Dylan Wilson has taken over the lead from his teammate Blake Majulis, so the front row swaps as we get ready to go to this restart. Jesse Innerkin and Zach McSwain still 3rd and 4th. Bergeron 5th. Kiefer 6th. Carr, Marlowe, Cabry, and Fitz. Your top 10 as we get ready to go back to racing action off of turn 4, and now we're underway. Good start from Wilson. He's going to hold on to the lead at the flag stand, drive it into turn number 1. Innerkin going to look to the inside of Majulis, and Majulis is going to get the drive off of turn number 2 and hold on to that runner-up spot. But now Bergeron going to go to the inside of McSwain. Little contact sends Damian Kiefer up the racetrack in that zero machine, and he's going to lose some spots. And now Bergeron is going to get turned, and we've got a good and proper bedlam with him and Austin Carr, and that's going to bring out another caution flag as Bergeron goes over or behind the wall the hard way. Generally, you would take the track exit and entry. Bergeron, however, I don't think he opted to go up and over, but that's the way he went. So we get some contact. Ryder Cantillo beating and banging on everybody, and he spins. There's actually a whole lot of activity there as Cantillo gets dumped. Probably that's what you call receipts in the business. And then we get all the fun we had in turns 1 and 2 with Alex Bergeron and Austin Carr. And Bergeron, that might have been net code. Little bit of space there. Between those two cards, you know, the net code thing. I'll talk about it. I'll vamp. Listen. There is no way to erase the latency between computers and server-based gaming. It's the reason you get behind a wall in Call of Duty, and then some 12-year-old kid kills you and tells you to eat trash, you old man, or whatever it is that kids say. It happens in every. No. I'm just saying that's what because we're not 12 and on an Adderall. BJ, I think I'm older than you. Am I? No, you're fine. You're fine. Anyway, the larger point here as we are back underway is that it's just an unfortunate part of online gaming, and we just have to deal with it here. Nobody can be mad at the folks at iRacing. We're back underway. Dylan Wilson continues to lead. Majulis second. Jesse Innerkin and Zach McSwain, your top 4. Then Cabry, Kiefer Fitz, Marlowe, Carter, and Loudy. Cade Loudy with a good run going. We'll see if he can hold that together over the next 45 laps. Dylan Wilson continues to lead. Cade Loudy back in 10th. And Dylan Wilson, though, out in front with Majulis, Innerkin, McSwain, and Cabry in tows. McCabry starts to lose touch with the top 4 just a little bit. The top 3 you could pretty well throw a blanket over. And then McSwain is back in 4th. Cabry, Kiefer, Fitz, Marlowe, Carter, and again Cade Loudy, your top 10 as Ben Countermar starts to pick his way through the field up to 13th. Chase Hardy is back there with him in 14th. As there's some contact between teammates Wilson and Majulis, as I think Majulis got in a little deeper in turns 1 and 2 there than Wilson did, and that's going to let Wilson kind of pull away. And you can see they put out some more build notes. You can really see the quality of the dust that iRacing has put in. It feels a lot more like a dirt race now. As you see the haze over turn 3, off of turn 4 with 10 in the books. It's Dylan Wilson out in front, Blake Majulis, Jesse Innerkin, McSwain, and Cabry, your top 4. Yeah, it feels so much more like a dirt race with dust hanging over part of the racetrack. Yeah, Dylan Wilson continuing his dominant run here. He took the lead down the back straightaway, first lap underway, and he has held it ever since. Majulis has stayed in second. We get another caution flag here But yeah, I've seen some of the complaints about the dust and stuff from in car, and all I know how to tell you is, in a real dirt car, it's also a problem. So we go to the back of the field here. There's Tanner Tomasi, Chase Hardy, and it looks like Tomasi and Hardy are going to make contact, and Hardy is going to go around. He gets into the inside wall there down the back straightaway, and we'll see if he can get that car disconnected from the concrete and maybe continue, and it looks like he's going to be able to. So just the littlest bit of contact there, and Hardy goes around. And Hardy, one of our B main winners. You hate to see that for him, but we'll see if he can. And he's going to go to the pits. We'll see if he comes back out with a fresh race car after they check that thing for damage, make sure all the tires are still good on it after he goes around on the back straightaway. Yeah, Hardy is at the pit exit, so he will come back out and rejoin the field. Of course, Alex Bergeron also back there after being involved in our first caution. 13 laps in the books in this one. And we get ready to go back to green flag racing here in just one moment. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Didn't want to sneeze in an open microphone. So we get ready to go back to green flag racing. Dylan Wilson, Blake Majulis, Jesse Enoch, and Zach McSwain, and Cole Cabry, your top five. As we're back underway, Wilson does not get the starts he's been getting, and Majulis is going to have a chance to try to take the lead back away from him as they run down the back straightaway and into turns 3 and 4. Majulis going to poke his nose to the inside, but he can't quite pull even, and another caution waves. This one haunted by yellow flags. Just 15 laps in the books, already 3 cautions. So let's see what happened as we get back here. Looks like Cade Lowdy and Huey Quillen are going to be involved. Points leader Evan C. gets through, and then Alex Bergeron gets a good look up under Huey Quillen's skirt. And Ryder Cantillo and Chase Hardy also maybe involved just a little bit. So advantage Dylan Wilson, who did not get a good restart that time by. But he's going to be able to stay in front of Majulis, at least for the time being, as we're going to go a single file now. So, again, advantage Wilson, at least at this point. We'll see what Wilson has to hold off Majulis over the next 35 laps here at Cedar Lake. The Kentucky Dirt iRacing League Spring Nationals, County Line Customs 50. Of course, the Spring Nationals presented by Newton Cattle Farms, as well as Dig Setups, ML Performance, Keltner Contracting, and, of course, again, the folks at Newton Cattle Farms. As we get back on the green, or on the loud pedal, green flag is out. It's Dylan Wilson going to lead into turn number 1. Majulis going to drive it in deep there, and he's going to lose some ground as a result. Got a little overzealous in turns 1 and 2, and now Wilson is going to start to pull away just a little bit. He's opened up about a car length and a half lead in that one lap of green flag, 15 in the books. 35 to go, and it's been all Dylan Wilson so far. Majulis, Enterkin, McSwain, and Cabry, your top 5. Kiefer Fitz, Marlo Carter, and Ruggiero Jr. The rest of your top 10. Cade Lowdy had a good run going, but was involved in that caution flag, and he has fallen back to the tail end of the longest line, but he has worked his way around Huey Quillen, as Evan C., who started dead last, has worked his way up to 14th spot. He's got a long way to go and an ever-shortening time to get there, as Dylan Wilson chalks off lap number 17 here in the County Line Customs 50. He's got a nice lead opened up over Blake Majulis. Majulis kind of biding his time back there in second. Then Entrican, McSwain, and Cabry very close together, but still single file. And then behind them, it is Damian Kiefer, Trevor Fitz, Randall Carter, Ruggiero Jr., and Braden Marlowe. Ruggiero Jr. on his way forward as well. And Chase Hardy is in the pit lane, and that may be the end of his night. He may be having some mechanical issues. Dylan Wilson continues to lead. McSwain looks to the inside of Enterkin down the back straightaway, but he's not quite there yet. A little bit more work still to do for McSwain. He's going to try to do it off at turn 4. Can't quite get there. About half a car length between 3rd and 4th as they work lap 21 of 50. Closing in on the cross flags, halfway coming up in just a couple laps. Track starting to slick over just a little bit around the bottom, and everybody goes looking for grip up a lane, and we'll see them kind of progress up the track until the end of this one. McSwain gets into the wall through turns 1 and 2. That's going to cost him a bunch of ground to Enterkin. Dylan Wilson out in front, then Majulis, kind of a man all alone there in second as he's got a good gap ahead of third place Enterkin. McSwain gets into the wall again. That's going to open the door for Cabry. Cabry looks underneath him off of turn 2, not quite there yet. Is going to try to gain some ground in 3 and 4 and see if he can put that 71 machine into the top 4, but he's not going to be able to do it just yet as the caution flag has waved once again. Yeah, the track, they did some track prep. I hope they didn't burn it up in the warm-up. As here's Huey Quillen. They're on back in the field. Cade Loudy comes up the racetrack. Quillen just got into the wall. Got in there a little too hot in turns 1 and 2. And that wall will jump out and get you. It's like a grandpa at a picnic. You think you're good, and then, it's got your nose or your tail. Either one. In Quillen's case, it got about all 4 sides of the race cars. He goes up and over. And that brings out another caution flag. Yeah, Quillen got going at just the right time to stay out of the path of Dylan Wilson and our leader. So we come to halfway. It'll be halfway when we take the green flag. So 25 of 50 will be in the books. Or excuse me, we'll take the green flag, come around and get the cross flags next time by as we go back to double file. And let's see if everybody can be on their best behavior for a few laps and we can sort this deal out. 24 in the books, 26 to go. And Dylan Wilson so far has led them all. Evan C. up to 13th. Keep an eye on that number 33 machine as he tries to work his way up through the field as the green flag drops and we're back underway. So green flag is out. We'll come around to the crossed flags next time by. We'll be halfway home in the County Line Customs 50. Dylan Wilson going to get a good drive off of turn 2, but he can't pull away from Majulis just yet. As now Trevor Fitz going to poke his nose to the inside of Damian Kiefer for 6th. And now there's a whole lot of D1RT traffic up there in the front. Zach McSwain all on his own as he goes to the high side underneath the cross flags. Halfway home in the County Line Customs 50, Dylan Wilson continues to lead Majulis, McSwain, Enterkin, and Cabry. Your top 5, but keep an eye on Trevor Fitz as he starts poking his nose to the inside of his D1RT teammate. As Fitz has got this thing hooked up as this track has slicked off. He goes to the bottom 1 and 2. Can't quite pull even with Cabry down the back straightaway. Good run off the outside of turn 2 for Cabry. And they'll go side by side through 3 and 4. Looks like Cabry is better on exit than he is through the front and the middle of the turns, but he clips the wall. That's going to open the door for Fitz and Ruggiero Jr. and maybe a couple more guys. Ruggiero gets numbers deep. Fitz and Cabry make a little contact as Cabry almost gets under Fitz's skirt. He's going to hold on to that. When we come to lap 29, we'll have 20 to go. Next time by for Dylan Wilson, still out in front, as now Enterkin looks to the inside of McSwain, as McSwain has taken the 3rd spot away from Enterkin. So Dylan Wilson continues to lead Blake Majulis as we continue to tick laps away, 30 in the books. 20 to go here at Cedar Lake. Zach Newton with you on Ultimate Dirt TV. It's the Kentucky Dirt iRacing League Spring Nationals and the County Line Customs 50. We've got 20 laps now, 19 laps to go in this one as Dylan Wilson is starting to pull away just a little bit. McSwain has started to pull away from Enterkin in 3rd, but we're going to see if he's got anything for the D1RT front runners, Wilson and Majulis. Fitz is up into a top 5 position, but he's holding off his teammates, Ruggiero Jr. and Cabry, as Cabry starts to fade just a little bit. Let's see what Ruggiero Jr. can do to the inside of his teammate down the back straightaway. As Fitz going to run right through the middle of the racetrack, and the 44 machine is going to go right with him. But Fitz pushes a little bit in turn 4. That opens the door for the 44. Now he's going to slide up the racetrack in front of his teammate. Fitz goes down the hill underneath him and will battle back numbers deep down the back straightaway. It's all Ruggiero and Fitz by themselves. Plenty of space around them to work as they continue to run side by side as Dylan Wilson continues to tick laps away. Majulis and McSwain have both gone to the lip, as have Cabry and a host of other drivers. Look at Tanner Tomasi and Evan C. Evan C. has worked his way into the top 10, and that 33 machine is real beat up, but he's getting there either way. Looks to the inside of Tomasi. Now that is the battle for 10th. They've also got Damian Kiefer there in 9th as there's about a 4-car pile up here ready to happen at any moment. Alex Bergeron has made his way up as well after being involved in that first caution. Great battle here on back in the pack. This is a battle for the end of the top 10 as Damian Kiefer going to pull into 8th. Randall Carter and Evan C. nearly make contact as Carter has to get on the brakes to go to the bottom. Tomasi gets into the wall up top, and they continue to run, but Evan C. is now in the top 10, and Alex Bergeron trying to go with him around the bottom. Bergeron pedaling the bottom of Cedar Lake Speedway here, right in the coattails, or the dust trails now, of Evan C., and those two have come to the front. After C started at the tail, Bergeron went there just 2 laps in. Great side-by-side racing here in the County Line Customs 50, part of the Newton Cattle Farm Spring Nationals, part of the Kentucky Dirt iRacing League. And this is a good show. 10 to go next time by. 39 of 50 in the books. Dylan Wilson all on his own out in front. We're going to see if Majulis has got anything for him as we come to the end of this one. Look at Evan C. battling to the inside of Tomasi. C is relentless, trying to get all the points he can after struggling in qualifying and in his heat race. And we're going to see if he's got anything or if his car is used up. Tomasi makes a mistake off of turn 2. C trying to go to the inside. He's finally got clear racetrack as Kiefer's moved up the racing surface. And then there's some contact there between Kiefer and Carter. And Evan C going to manage to keep it straight forward. And now he's up to 9th. He's in the single digits. You want to talk about charging hard, talk about Evan C. doing it. But Dylan Wilson hasn't needed to charge past anybody. He passed Blake Majulis down the back straightaway on lap 1, and he is out in front. Side-by-side battle between D1RT guys, or Diggs guys. That's John Ruggiero Jr. and Jesse Enterkin. That's your battle for 4th, as Ruggiero's got a good run going as he tries to pick off another driver in the form of Hunt the Front's Jesse Enterkin. Enterkin through the middle of turns 1 and 2 gets a good run away from Ruggiero. Laps continuing to wind down. He'll have 5 fingers in the air next time by. Will Dylan Wilson as he continues to lead over the 127 of Blake Majulis, who's now got his hands full with the 25 of Zach McSwain. It's been all Dylan Wilson all the way from the drop of the green flag in this one. Is now you see the battle for second starting to shape up. 5 fingers in the air for all these drivers. Nobody yet a lap down. McSwain pushes up the racetrack and loses some ground but then drives. Wow, what a drive did he just get off of turn 2, and now looks to the inside of Majulis. Majulis is going to try to match that drive off of turn 4, and a caution waves. The last thing Dylan Wilson wanted to see was a caution right there. He had absolutely gaptized this field. He was taking the kids to Gapplebee's to get a $5 steak dinner and a couple of those martinis. And then we go to a UDTV instant replay, and it's Trevor Fitz. And I see, looks like Randall Carter there, and they're going to get together. Fitz goes around. He collects Evan C., but C keeps it pointed the right way. Tomasi involved. Damian Kiefer involved. And then it's a traffic jam, and we got a real mess over there in turns 1 and 2. So Evan C. dodges the bullet, and he will hold on to that 8th spot. He's made up a ton of ground in this one, which in an extremely tight points battle, which for all intents and purposes, this could wind up being. He's going to be very glad that he worked his way up and then dodged that caution flag, or the wreck that brought out this caution flag. But Dylan Wilson, probably on the opposite end of that spectrum, he probably would have liked this one to have stayed green. So just 5 laps to go, 45 of 50 in the books, or just 4 laps to go, excuse me, as we'll come to lap 46. And I'm not real sure what happened there. But Dylan Wilson is suddenly, and we've got a caution. Yeah, the race control has thrown a caution flag here as well. They should. Not sure what happened there. I'm going to assume this inside of 10 laps to go. I assume it's supposed to be a single file restart. So it looks like Nice was trying to catch back up with the field. Yeah, not at all sure what happened there, but a caution flag thrown by race control. So we'll get it all squared away here as we try to line things back up. Looks like we're going to go double file here. And 46 of 50 in the books now. So just 3 laps for Dylan Wilson. He's in the catbird seat. He's controlling the restart, but he's got to hold off Blake Majulis. Probably I would assume one of the most the winningest drivers in the history of iRacing. And we'll see if Dylan Wilson can do it with just a handful of laps to go. He's also got McSwain, Enderkin, and Ruggiero Jr. behind him. Evan C. is back there in striking distance, but he's got a whole lot of D1RT aluminum between him and a checkered flag. Green flag is out. Good start for Wilson. Better start for Majulis. Majulis going to go to the high side. Let's see what he's got for his teammate off of turn number 2. Wilson slides up the racetrack. Majulis goes to the inside, and now that's going to open the door for McSwain. Majulis gets in a little too deep, and Wilson may get the run off. He does, and Wilson will go back to the lead. So it's Wilson, Majulis, McSwain, Enderkin, and Cabry, your top 5, as Cabry's gotten back around Ruggiero Jr. Oh, Majulis checked up hard, and McSwain got victimized by it. A whole lot of bent MD3 there down the back straightaway. 2 fingers in the air. Popsicle sticks are up. It's Dylan Wilson's race to lose as he leads off at turn number 2. And let's see what McSwain does here after he got brake checked down the back straightaway by Majulis coming up the racetrack. Inside of Majulis goes McSwain. White flag is in the air, 1 to run, as we've got a whole lot of bedlam in the back of the field. Out in front, though, it's all Dylan Wilson. Is McSwain going to dive to the inside? Does he have anything for the 127? Wilson going to drive into the sunset in this one, take the checkered flag. McSwain can't get there. He'll come on 3rd behind Majulis, and then Enderkin and Cabry, unofficially your top 5, as all hell breaks loose down the front straightaway. So Dylan Wilson goes flag to flag. Good run for Wilson. He's going to park it in Cedar Lake's victory. Well, he's going to try to. He drove into the little stage there. Oh, Dylan. Oh, he's going to hear about that in the interview. Don't you worry, folks. We're going to take another commercial break. We'll be back in just a minute with victory lane interviews with Dylan Wilson. Official results: Blake Majulis comes home runner-up to Dylan Wilson. McSwain in 3rd. Enderkin, Cabry, Ruggiero, C, Bergeron, Carter, and Marlowe, your top 10. Then Austin Carr, Ryan Burkhart, Mario Perez, Cade Loudy, Ben Countermarsh, Huey Quillen, Philip Neese, and Damian Kiefer go back to 18. Neese, Joey Neese specifically, and then Ryder Cantillo in 20th. Trevor Fitz, Tanner Tomasi, Hunter Heck, and Chase Hardy round out your 24-car field. Now we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be back with victory lane interviews with your top 3 drivers right after this. Back here in Victory Lane on the front stretch at Cedar Lake, we'll get to our top two drivers in a minute. We start with our bronze medal finisher this evening, Zach McSwain in the 25 machine. Zach, you ran a good race. There's a little bit of contact on the back straightaway between you and Blake Majulis there as we got close to the end of the race. Did you think you had anything for him before or after that?
Maybe if he would have left me a lane there, I could have snuck by him, but it was just good hard racing. We had a pretty good car there. I was able to go fourth and finally get past JC there on one of those restarts and just ride there to the end.
Yeah, you looked like you had a very strong car tonight. Dylan and Blake never really got away from you, and when they did open up a little bit of gap, when you got around Enterkin, you were able to close back up. You just ran out of time in this one, but a good run for you. Another good run, I believe, after 2 weeks ago. I think you had a good run, if I remember the results correctly. Anybody you want to thank on that number 25 machine?
I'm a Team D12, thank my sponsors, Speed Connection, Lizard Lit Pit, Big Al's Guns, Slicker Graphics, Speed South Graphics. Thank y'all for the race.
Absolutely. Zach McSwain comes home third place after a good run for the number 25 machine. We head to the runner-up in tonight's race, Blake Majulis in the 127 machine. And, Blake, some good hard racing between you and Zach. Obviously, nothing malicious there. But do you think you had anything for Dylan as you were trying to chase him down after he stuck the lead from you down the backstretch on lap one?
I couldn't really get going on the starts. It took me about 4 or 5 laps to get going, and then tried some stuff, and it was definitely going to be hard to pass. It was one thing catching up on a run there, but it's another thing to pass. I really don't think, unless I had a lane there on that last restart, and I slid him there, I don't think I would have got by him. Just super hard to pass. He was really fast as well, so it would have been difficult.
Yeah, it looked like you were getting a good run there on, I think it was in turns 1 and 2. You got the outside line, you had real estate in front of you, and then he found some moisture on the bottom and was just able to pull off and stay in front of you. But you guys put on a hell of a show there for first and second.
Yeah, the track, it kind of plays out the same every time. It's not really the raciest track, so, he capitalized on that first start, and I couldn't steer down to that bottom with all the moisture there, and he capitalized on my mistake and never looked back. So he ran a good race and never made any mistakes, and me and Zach had a good race there as well, so couldn't ask much better for a race.
Absolutely. Any sponsors on that 127 machine you want to thank?
Yeah, please, you guys for broadcasting your time tonight. I appreciate it. D1RT Racing, Represent Limited, ML Performance, Reliable Energy Solutions, Chris Ferguson Motorsports, CD Cinematography, BK Designs, and everyone that watched. Thank you.
Absolutely. Blake Majulis comes home in second tonight behind his teammate, who we join here in Victory Lane. That's Dylan Wilson in the ADD machine. Dylan, I don't know why. I've announced races, I think, now for like a year, and you've had this paint job for a while, and I don't know why I never got the ADD pun until just now.
Yeah, it's been around a minute, and it's a hit usually, so I run it in real life too, so I usually get the same reaction when I get to a track somewhere, so it's fun.
Yeah, I enjoy it. Always like talking to you in Victory Lane after. You're always a good interview, too. Take us through that. You kind of snookered Blake there, got him down the back straightaway, and then never looked back. He had a great car tonight for sure.
Yeah, I think Blake nailed it there. I got the lead on the first start there. He just couldn't turn into one, and I was able to sneak by, and I was really tied off, too, and I kind of screwed him in his line out down the back straightaway. But, I mean, if I would have lifted, it would have just yeeted the wall, and that would have caused a huge wreck. So I never like to do that or get the lead in that way, especially on lap 1. But everybody made it through, and we were kind of able just to set the pace the rest of the way. And man, I've been on such a bad luck streak. It's just fun to finish a race, to let alone win one with some good drivers in the field. So it's definitely a monkey off my back type feeling.
Yeah, well, and when that monkey jumps off your back and you find a $100 bill back there, you got to feel even better. And that's what you're going home with the winner's check tonight. But a great run for you. Again, you were pretty close to dominant. As Blake said, you didn't make any mistakes. Walk us through just what it's like to kind of deal with a guy like Majulis in your rearview mirror. Obviously, your teammate, so he's not going to run you rough or anything. But what's it like to kind of deal with that, even on a track where it's hard to pass?
I mean, Majulis, he's one of the best, if not the best. So I felt lucky to get the lead, but honestly, the whole race I was just waiting because he's so good at settling back down and finding his rhythm and making at least one more run, for the lead. And it seemed like if I could just get past the first lap of a restart, we were able to kind of set the pace there. I mean, I guess we guessed right with the adjustments for the first time in a while. So yeah, I mean, if Blake's not winning, he's finishing second, usually pressuring the guy for the lead. So, yeah, I mean, it was. I expected him there all race. I expected him to be tough on the restarts, and he was. So, yeah, it's not much else to say. You just got to hit your marks when somebody like him is behind you.
Absolutely. Any sponsors on that ADD machine you want to thank?
Yeah, not quite as much as everybody else, but the D1RT Racing, everybody over there, thank you. Thank you to Blake Majulis and his brand 127. And thank you to you guys for broadcasting. And thanks for Drew Hopkins and his whole team for putting this deal on.
Absolutely. So Dylan Wilson going to go home $100 richer as he pulls the ADD. Well, he gets close to pulling the ADD machine in victory lane, then runs into the stage, but still leads all 50 laps, still gets the winner's check tonight. And we congratulate him for, again, as he said, getting the monkey off his back and getting a win here in the Kentucky Dirt iRacing League Spring Nationals presented by Newton Cattle Farms. Again, we've been live on Ultimate Dirt TV. Thanks for everybody tuning in. For BJ Duvall in the production truck, I'm Zach Newton. Take care of your feet, everybody. We'll see you in 2 Tuesdays with more Spring Nationals Dirt late model action.